I bet a lot of you are wondering what my guilty pleasures are. Now, before you ask, what is a guilty pleasure? Well, it's a movie we either know is bad or know is stupid, but we can't help but like it anyways. And these are mine. This is the top 5 guilty pleasures. Number 5. Escape to Witch Mountain and Return to Witch Mountain. I put these two movies pretty low on the list because I don't think they're either stupid or bad, but I don't think they're anything spectacular. The characters in both films are pretty likable for the most part, and it's pretty good to get a good laugh of how dated the effects are in both movies. Number 4, Rockadoodle. Don't get me wrong, Rockadoodle is a bad movie, and director Don Bluth has made far better animated films. But the reason I consider it a guilty pleasure is because of how weird the damn film is. Phil Harris is pretty good in his final role as Pachu, and Christopher Plummer is quite intimidating as the Grand Duke. I much rather sit through Rockadoodle than sit through a troll in Central Park. Number 3, the Rocky and Bullwinkle movie. I love the Rocky and Bullwinkle show. The movie is stupid, but it's so stupid, I can't help but love it. The characters are the same. Rocky is the brains, Bullwinkle is the dumbbell, and I really like it how they got Jane Forain to come back to voice Rocky. But clearly the best thing about this film is Lorraine LaRusso and Jason Alexander as Boris and Natasha. They actually feel like Boris and Natasha came to life. And Robert De Niro as Fearless Leader is also really good. Number 2, Space Jam. Space Jam is a film that gets a ton of hate, and it's pretty easy to see why. After all, the film was made as an extended commercial, but growing up, I didn't know that. I loved this movie so much as a kid, I even tried out playing for my elementary school basketball team. The animation on the Looney Tunes looks greater than ever, and I really like the soundtrack. Sure, this movie is not a masterpiece, and it's definitely no Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but I think there are far worse kids' movies out there. And my number 1 guilty pleasure is the Jim Carrey Grinch. Just like Space Jam, the Jim Carrey Grinch is another film that gets a ton of hate. And again, it's pretty easy to see why. Some of the makeup used on the Who's is creepy, and some of the jokes are rather cringe-inducing. But with that said, Jim Carrey as the Grinch is hilarious. And I really like the bond between Cindy Lou and the Grinch, and Cindy Lou is downright adorable. By far, this is my number 1 guilty pleasure. Well, that was my top 5 guilty pleasures. I can't wait to see what your guilty pleasures are in the comments section below. Well, so long.